Junction. Cleveland Cavaliers have brought a championship to Cleveland, and it's been like over 40 years. They called it Believeland. It's crazy. LeBron James had a triple-double game 7. Kyrie Irving. To me, even though LeBron James had the triple-double, which hasn't been done since James Worthy, Kyrie gets the game ball because he kept Cleveland in the game. When I mean he kept them in the game, his scoring in the third, he went on like a 9-0 run by himself. JR hit a couple of threes when he first came out as well. So that was excellent. And the Cavaliers got back to what they were doing best. Isolation basketball, put the ball in LeBron's hands and Kyrie's hands. And they pulled it out. They pulled it out, man. They came back from 3-1. They came back from 3-1. And they came back, man. The way they did it, I didn't agree with it. I did pick them to win the series because of Stephen Curry's health. I could tell that Stephen Curry, he wasn't himself. Like, he was getting abused on defense, which he's not like the greatest defender, but he's a good defender. So being a good defender, you should be able to stop some of these plays. And that last play with Kyrie Irving, I mean, that was good defense. There's nothing you could do about that. I think that has to go up there with like that Michael Jordan shot in Game 6. Like, because that's good defense. The guy's draped all over him. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, that alone, that sealed the game because the Warriors came down. They had good shots. Andre Iguodala gets blocked by LeBron James. It was an incredible athletic play. He has a wide open corner 3. Love contests. And Kevin Love, you got to give him credit. He came back and he made plays in terms of rebounding the basketball. He sucked up all the rebounds. And that was good. And he was there to space the floor, which was excellent. And LeBron James sealed the game with a free throw. But that play with Kyrie Irving and his play throughout the series, he did outplay Curry. He outplayed Curry because we're going to find out. You know, he had to have surgery or something. The Warriors, at the end of the day, they choked. They were up 3-1. Cleveland becomes the first team to come back from a 3-1 deficit. And the thing is, although this was a great game, this was the game that we've been wanting for such a long time. That whole Draymond Green thing, that's gonna go down in infamy. Like that's gonna be like okay, like yes they won the series, but what does that mean about what happened with Draymond Green? If we suspend them Game 5, if we don't suspend them Game 5, do they win? And that's the kind of talk I don't want to hear. Cavaliers, they won fair and square. They came back from 3-1. The Warriors had chance three chances to close them out. Game 4, no, I want to say Game 5, Game 6, 3 chances. Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7. They weren't able to do it. Draymond Green came out gangbusters, but it wasn't enough. And at the end of the day, the Warriors couldn't get that contribution from their bench. They choked. They let everything get in their minds. The whole series, everything. It wasn't like they were a bad team. It wasn't like X and O wise. They weren't getting the shots that they wanted. Cleveland was just more physical. They got more rebounds, and they choked because Curry couldn't hit any shots because he's hurt somewhere deep down inside. LeBron James was beastly all throughout the series. He's going to get the Finals MVP, which he definitely deserves. He played a great game, but it came down to this, and I saw this going into the series, and I wish I didn't open my big mouth, but oh well. Stephen Curry, he just couldn't get those shots to go in that he normally hit. These guys was getting a bunch of shots rimming out. Harrison Barnes went 1 for 5 in the opener, and he was missing like a little jump shots that he always hit in the lane, so right then and there, you knew it was over. Like, well, you didn't know it was over, but you get the feeling like, okay, Cleveland keeps it close. And Warriors, all they needed to do was get one layup. So all they had to do was trade, like, one three-pointer for a layup. Or, I think Draymond Green had a wide-open three-pointer that he took. He should have drove the lane, maybe, opened up the passing lanes. But all the other players couldn't step up. And Curry, obviously, something wrong with him. Something wrong with him because all his shots that normally went in didn't go in. And he's going to have surgery. And it's not an excuse because they did choke. They choked. You can't go up 3-1 on the team and then not close them out. That's inexcusable. And Steve Kerr has to take some of the blame for that because all that switching with Stephen Curry and everything like that, they should have known okay, if they're gonna keep switching with Stephen Curry, we gotta put Stephen Curry on a big or something. We have to put Stephen Curry on a Richard Jefferson. We have to put him somewhere where with that switch doesn't automatically mean a wide open 3-pointer. Because J.R. Smith almost got loose too, and you can't allow that. But hey, we get our summer back. I get my summer back because these games haven't been entertaining. Game 7 was like the most entertaining out of all the games in the series or whatever. Warriors blew it, man. They choked. The 73-9 doesn't mean a thing without a ring. They're like one of the best regular season teams, but they can't go down as one of the greatest teams of all time. So Warriors get a championship in the first 40 years. Cavaliers get a championship. I know LeBron's going off. 3 out of 7, which ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we're not gonna say I think statistically he's gonna have like one of the best finals ever or whatever the case is. Like right up there with Dwayne Wade, Jordan, everything like that. But there's no more comparisons. Like he's in his own lane right now. You know, got him a championship. He did what he had to do. So if he leaves, that's up to him. If he stays, that's up to him. Whatever. But in terms of the Warriors, they couldn't get anybody else to step up, and that's sad. That's sad. It's like when they shadowed Curry and when they shadowed Thompson, nobody else wanted to step up. Draymond Green, he had an excellent game. And it just goes to show you, like, what if he plays Game 5? Does he come up with that 30 points? Is that enough? In Game 5, you got to remember, the game was tied first half, 61-61. So if Draymond Green has 30 points in that game, or 20 points, maybe it's a 20-point blowout running away or whatever. So at the end of the day, people are going to say it was rigged. And yes, it has some tendencies of being rigged or whatever the case is. But Cleveland Cavaliers came back from 3-1. Even if they had help, the Warriors should have sealed the deal. This is going to be like, it's leaving a bad taste in my mouth because I did pick the Cavaliers to win. But I didn't think it would come to fruition because I thought like the Warriors defense would be able to step up. And they didn't. They didn't step up. Their defense allowed this debacle to occur. And for the Cavaliers, they stuck to their isolation basketball and everything like that. So, and that worked for them because Kyrie Irving, literally, they got the switch. And to me, I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. Do you want to switch or do you want to blitz? You can't blitz with JR being the screener. So JR Smith gets NBA championship. And his gravity really helped the Cavaliers. You got to say that. I'm not even going to go into numbers or anything because this was a close game, hard-fought game. But other than that, referees had some influence, but we're not going to go there. At the end of the day, you got to respect both teams that came to play. There was some unmanliness stuff. There was some stuff that went into play that wasn't good. There was some stuff that went into the series that wasn't good. And the NBA is going to look into it. They're going to look into it. They're gonna say, okay, like manipulation and everything like that. They're going to have to come up with something because that's all we're going to hear the rest of the summer. You know, we're going to hear like how great LeBron is, and then we're going to hear how like sucker he is. You know what I'm saying? Even though he played a great game, he had a lot of sucker moves, which kind of helped him edge out the series and help the Warriors and pretty much decided the Warriors' fate because he was in there. He started a campfire in their head, and they couldn't get out. But Curry wasn't playing well, man. He had some costly turnovers, especially when they had like a 5-point lead. I think it was in the 4th or the 3rd. They had a 5-point lead. He took like a crazy long 3-point shot that bounced out. It's just some of those shots they weren't there. You can see him during the game. He's doing this to himself. But you know, it is what it is. LeBron James. He doesn't have to worry about legacy questions anymore. He went to a whole bunch of finals, won 3 out of 7. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he's not Jordan, he's not Kobe, he's not Wilt, he's himself. He's one of the top players to do it. You got to respect him. But Kyrie Irving definitely outplayed Stephen Curry, and he hit some big shots, fouling ones, flicking the ball. His layup game was ridiculous. So you got to give them credit. You got to give Cleveland credit because they scratched and clawed and they actually won the series, which was tremendous, especially for a city like Cleveland. For the Warriors, you know, even though I picked the Cavs, I definitely wanted to see them go back-to-back. I felt like they deserved it. They had a great season. I felt like they played the game the right way. I felt like they didn't snitch on anybody. They didn't make any poor plays. But one thing is, They choked, and the thing is, what made them choke is they got too cocky. They didn't think it could happen. And when you don't think it could happen, you know, you're lacking. Take an L off of lacking. No, pardon me. When you don't think it could happen, you start acting. Acting, you lacking. So at the end of the day, they lacked that mental fortitude because they thought Cleveland Cavaliers would just lay down and die. You can never think a team's gonna lay down and die, especially when they got here for a reason. They're just as good as you. So you have to play great, if not better, like 10 times better. And since Curry wasn't going, Clay was pretty much locked up towards the end. I don't even think he even really got a shot. So that's what really killed them. Like, they kept going to Curry, like Clay wasn't able to get layups. Like, I saw him beating people backdoor. They were scared to throw it. So they lost or whatever, and that's that. That's that. And I knew the health of Curry was going to be a big deal. It was going to be a very big deal because all they needed was one game from a Bogut or a Draymond Green. Draymond Green's big game comes in Game 7, but they couldn't get that regular production from Curry. And that kills you. That kills you. And the Cavaliers, they're the best at the isolation. I think they're like one of the first teams to win a championship playing like some of the most crass and slowed down basketball I've ever seen in my life. Like, this game was entertaining, but this series wasn't entertaining. This series was not entertaining. I think Game 7 we won, but the rest of the series we lost. I feel like we didn't see great bad. We saw great individual performances, but in terms of great team basketball, like, games should have been like this every single night. It should have been like a crazy matchup every night, back and forth every night. Games being down to the wire every night. And we didn't get that. We didn't get that. We got robbed. We got robbed. That's why I kept saying I want my summer back, because I felt like this isn't basketball like how it's supposed to be played. And on both sides, because the Warriors started playing isolation basketball as well. Once Cleveland shut down their initial motion offense, they just started scramble mode. And scramble mode, they're not good at that. But the Cavaliers are. And that's why they got their first championship in so many years. You know, say what you want. It was rigged. Whatever you want to say, they won. Results are results. It is what it is. Congratulations to Cleveland Cavaliers. Congratulations to LeBron James. And game ball. Game ball. Kyrie Irving. I'm thinking LeBron had great defensive plays, glassing, but if Kyrie doesn't hit that three, we have and if he doesn't go on an 8-0 run in the third by himself, we have a different series, ladies and gentlemen. I think Kyrie Irving was that I guess Batman's Robin, and he came through in the clutch, or whatever you want to call it. So they did their thing, man. They did their thing, and Warriors entertained us, Cavaliers entertained us. The series wasn't great, but it is what it is. Get my summer back. Now we get to see if the Cleveland Cavaliers could go back to back. Is Kevin Curry gonna have surgery? Season enders. Have surgery on his knee. What happens? Does Kevin Durant go to State? So all these questions and no answers. We'll see soon next season. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction. Hoops meets Hoopla. Like, comment, and subscribe. And this isn't the end for Hoops Junction. We're gonna have many more breakdowns. We're gonna talk a lot more basketball. We're gonna talk about a bunch of things. Peace. Have a great summer.